Welcome to the conclusion to the Zeph series. I recommend jumping back to the last few minutes of Zeph Part 2 because in this episode we jump right into it in the beginning. We hope you enjoy this episode, and as always, keep it Zeph.
No Bob's allowed!
To forget that life's a game, but shit, I did it too, no, we all to blame. But it's never been the same since I learned the rules, since I got the tools and I dropped the fools. I saw the snakes and fakes and the hate that they make, the pain that they take, I just pray they awake. We may play the same game, but we do by different rules. Got a few I choose to follow, but my motto is the truth. Through the movement, commandments, solutions to the madness. My motive is decoding life's laws like mathematics. Found the blueprint schematic, showed me flow is automatic. Spit romantic semantics and then get back at it. Gotta have it. That's the first thing I found out. Why drop the...
I do have one more thing to say about Zeph. I don't know if we actually kind of defined the idea yet. I know that was kind of
tough.
That was one of the things
Everybody
that we
has
wanted
their
to try to do.
Yeah.
But you talked about how LJ and Deontward, like they're dark. Or they're outsiders, and they both had Japanese influences. I think LJ maybe did a little bit more than Deontward.
Definitely.
But I mean, ninja, Japanese.
And in some of their earlier albums, it's a little bit more obvious, but I agree.
Oh.
But LJ identifies with, he has a lot of lyrics like, and Japanese girls have me as the background on their iPhones. Like, he's proud of his connection to Japan, but he's also close.
I'm sure. I mean, I think that, at least from what I know about LJ, is he's more related. Because, I mean, the song that I like the most that I know of, and I don't know very many songs, is Sayonara Mama Boy.
Yeah.
I like the Destructive version, too. That's the remix. It's pretty good.
Great remix.
But sayonara itself, that's a Japanese word. It means
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
But that's his alter ego. Like, that's his rap name is Sayonara Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was because he had this love for Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his earliest songs that's actually referencing is Sayonara Mama, which is when he first takes on that alter ego of Sayonara Boy. And it's basically like, Sayonara Mama, like, this is my ticket out of here. I am the Sayonara Boy. I am the one who, through my connection with whatever this is, gets to leave. And I have to say sayonara to my family. So that's kind of how, Sayonara Mama Boy is him reflecting on that identity of, for whatever I did, whatever energy I drew on, it took me out of this place.
Interesting. But with relation to Deontward, also that was really good information, so I hope you all picked it up. With relation to Deontward, the influence, I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima right now, and one of the main struggles for the protagonist is whether you want to be a shadow hero, like, do you want to operate from the shadows or do you want to operate with honor? And I kind of forgot where I was going with this. That makes me a little sad.
I'd say it sounds like a unification.
Yeah.
Like
the Zeph, the relation to Zeph. One of the things that they mention in one of their introductions is Zeph is a warrior tribe.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily know how to define a warrior. I've thought about it a lot because a lot of people think about it. But what kind of honor system do warriors abide by? And if they do at all, what things would they prioritize? And you'd think they would prioritize what matters to them the most. So with Deontward, if you listen to some of the things that Avery has shown me and that warrior aspect of Zeph is you choose that. You choose what matters to you the most, and that is what you find your honor code.
Yeah,
is.
you make your own code and abiding by it violently. And actually, that's really cool, Joe, because that brings me to introduce a clip to the listeners that I wasn't going to introduce. So we'll take a second here, and we'll allow the listeners to hear this clip. This is an interview with Yolandi about what she believes to be the core of the warrior tribe, which is she connects it to the basis of hip-hop in terms of hip-hop is fight music. So let's take a second and have the listeners listen to that, and we'll resume after.
we do better. Like when we in the fucking, because we still the underdogs.
Yeah.
When we're all in that position and when we need a fight, that's when we flex. That's our shit. Otherwise, it's like what? When everything's perfect, what the fuck are you doing? What are you gonna rap about?
Right.
You know, rap music is fight music.
Yeah, I think that's something that we can all connect to, because even in America, hip hop music is definitely fight music. Like, I use it when I'm working out, like when I need to get hyped up when I'm at work. Like, all of those things is high energy, and it makes you really vigorous. It brings you that vitality. So I think that really connects to just what you were saying, Joe.
I don't know too much about the underground hip hop scene, underground rap scene, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that there's moshing even in hip hop and rap. Like,
especially like Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a lot of moshing.
Yeah, that it gets just as violent as like literally the angriest music most people think about.
Shit. I know we're trying to get closer to the end here, but dude, that reminded me of another thing that I really think about. Like, if it weren't for hip hop, I don't really think I would have been able to integrate the pride of loving metal into my life. Like, it really was hip hop and dubstep that made me realize that everybody likes that energy. Everybody likes high energy. You just have to put it in the certain background that they come up in. Yeah, exactly. And whatever it is that they connect to, it's that same energy, whether it's metal, hip hop, or hardcore electronic. It's all the same energy. And I've been able to connect to that through the globe. And one more shout out to LJ. That's what he did in his song Trap House Rock. He literally unified metal, trap, rap, and rock all in one. And it's like, he literally created a new genre that is Trap House Rock, where it's like, that shit's metal, it's house, and it's fucking rap and rock. It's unbelievable. But let's transition to talking about Grebz, because otherwise we're going to get way too lost, because there's still like 5 or 6 artists we have to cover. So let's talk Grebz. Grebz, originally known as Gryby, being the Russian word for mushrooms. They started in Kiev in 2016. I don't really know how to talk about their genre. I'd call it like garage house or techno, like kind of, I don't know.
Garage house, I like
garage house. That I fucks with that. And really, Grebz, they're kind of the starters of all of this up-and-coming Russian language rap scene, specifically using electronic beats, because that's one thing that unifies all of these artists. They're not using the old school US hip-hop beats, like just, you know, like kind of like classic hip-hop. These are not along those lines. These are all electronic. The only artist that actually touches on that old school vibe is Grebz, and they identify themselves as Staraya Shkola, old school. So originally known as Gryby, they often use the imagery of their music or their fans as mushrooms. And a great lyric from them is, it's in their first released song, Intro. And I would say to anybody that wants to check them out, watch the video for Intro, because it has a lot of great shots of their neighborhood back in Ukraine. And the lyric, the hook for this song is "Мы типа грибы," meaning we're a type of mushroom. И, unfortunately, my Russian isn't that great. Поднялась влага в клубе. Is that correct, Leo? Like, we've raised the moisture in the club. И мы растем.
Влага в клубе.
Yeah,
И
exactly.
мы растем.
И мы растем. We've raised the humidity in the club, and now we're growing.
Yep.
A type of mushroom. Yeah. And that's their imagery, that literally they are the people who think out. It's the same idea that they're thinking outside the box, and their music is to grow this mentality of the mushroom, that it's just like the Antwoord refers to their fans as the rats, that you can try to eradicate us, but we were born living in the cracks. We cannot be destroyed. We grow up living between the cracks, and that's what we do best.
It's a very bouncy music, and it's rap, and it's guilty by association. Grebz are kind of like associated a little bit with the gangster kind of mentality,
But accidentally gangster.
Accidentally gangster. They're not it at all. They're exactly the opposite. They're just promoting mostly just, you know, enjoy life, bring some, you know, balance to you, bring
party
some
and have a
peace.
good time.
Party, have a good time,
And
right?
in contrast to a lot of people of our generation, they're kind of, again, part of the older millennials, where they're not really condoning drug use. They don't think it's cool. They're like, you should go party. You don't need alcohol. You don't need drugs. Just go party. Get some great music. Get a boombox. Get a fucking Macintosh, and you can make anything you need to have a party.
Have a healthy mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be at peace. Which I think is kind of being lost in our generation, where people want sedation rather than enlightenment. And I think that's a big thing that we here at No Bobs Allowed can bring to people.
that take a second, take a deep breath. Everybody just kind of like take one conscious breath, because fuck not being in the moment. Like, fuck worrying about things that you don't have to worry about. There's no excuse to not be at peace with yourself. Damn, that got a little bit too real.
I can smell
blame
beautiful
Grebz.
food right now.
Damn, dude, stop talking. We're about to make some dank food after this. Jesus Christ. Well, that's all I really wanted to say on Grebz. Like, they're fucking awesome, man. Like, they're in a genre all of their own, and they've influenced the whole Russian-speaking world. Like, I remember when I was in Latvia, I walk into a club, hanging out with this American guy. He's like, what kind of club is this? I'm like, oh, this is a Russian club. We're in Latvia. He's like, oh, I thought it was a Latvian club. And I'm like, no, this is a Russian club. And he's like, what's the difference? I walk in and I hear Grebz playing in the background. It's like, and I'm like, oh shit, this is a Russian ass club. Like, it's just immediately that whole energy hits you as like, everybody can identify with this. It's just, it's music for everyone. Anything else to say? I want to jump to another Ukrainian band, Chornaye Kino. And Chornaye Kino, it translates to black cinema, or I think in English it would just be Chorny. I can say it Americanized, like Chornaye Kino. That's, I'm sure, how you would find it. It's tough because they're a really up-and-coming artist, kind of unknown.
Black theater.
Black theater, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a reference to Kino, like
or black movie. Kino is movie.
Something like that.
Black movie.
But I mean, Kino as in Victor Tsoi. Like, I wonder if they're trying to say that they're Chornaya because they're Ukrainian. Maybe they're Tartar. Maybe they're saying we Chornaya Kino.
Oh,
like,
shit.
We're a black Kino. Like, we're black Victor Tsoi.
Man, I didn't make that association.
Because they look kind
I
of
hear
Tartar.
that.
Like, you can tell they're like they have the features of Tartar. Like, even that guy has braided hair. Like, you can kind of tell that he has Tartar influence.
And I can also tell that Joe and Tyler are going to be enlightened by the wonderful music of Kino and Victor Tsoi.
Oh, yeah,
At least one song.
I can't believe we haven't even discussed that. This is where it's like, No Bob's Allowed is just overflowing with content. We literally have one episode left in the season, and it's... Well, that's been the theme since the beginning. We always run long because we can't be stifled. Like, you could try.
We are a fountain.
Yeah, dude, we are the fountainhead. Cha.
With 4 like brains in this room, this is just a infinite fucking fountain of magic, thought, a think tank of a kind. Like,
4 is a good number.
Yeah. Dude.
What is this?
That's why it's good to have you here, Joe.
Intern.
Well,
Joe.
we should
Intern
start
Joe.
closing out here though, because this is getting insane. So let's talk Tatarka, because that goddamn, just like Yolandi, so feminine. I don't know. It affects my brain. It makes me feel some type of way. Like I can't not. It like again, it bubbles up from my DNA. It's like I can't not. Like literally, it raises my blood pressure to see her energy. Like it creeps me out, dude. It's like. It's some shit that I am not accustomed to in Madison because I don't know, it's getting a little masculine around here. But I don't know, I love a feminine woman. Point being, Tatarka, she's Tartar. And real Tartar, like from Tartarstan. And I don't know if people know that much about Tartarstan, so I have a couple of facts here. Tartarstan is one of the 85 republics of the Russian Federation, so it's in Russia. It's like maybe 8 hours east of Moscow. I was in the capital city of Kazan. And it's a very different vibe. Yeah, it's Russian, but it's really not Russian. Although there are about 1.5 million ethnic Russians in Tartarstan, there's 2 million ethnic Tatars. And the official language is Tartar and Russian, but it really is a different culture, specifically that most Tatar are Sunni Muslim. Although some are Russian Orthodox, the predominant faith is Islam. And you can tell, it's the only place I've been in Russia that you don't see people drinking on the street. Because, generally, you see, like, broken vodka bottles, people screaming incoherently. But in Tartarstan, at least in the center, it's respectful. Because people don't drink in public because they know that there are people who do not drink. And therefore, it's disrespectful. And in Tartarstan, it's a totally different vibe. Like, their Kremlin has a mosque in it. Like, it's a very different feeling. And it's very inclusive that it's like, yeah, we're Russians, but we're Tatars first. Leo, do you have anything to say on Tartar? Because I know there are Crimean Tatars, so you grew up with some Tartar people.
Not much.
Okay.
A little bit that I heard about. I've been called a Tartar when I was young, a few times. because I was dark during the summer times. I get really dark skin.
Yeah, you say your father was reputed to have curly hair, right?
Yeah, my father, biological father,
So that's why they would call you a hahol.
could grow an afro.
Yeah.
They'd called me like a hahol, a mix of
A mutt.
whatever.
Yeah.
And a few times I got called tartar. I mean, I could get really dark. I could get like
I've
darker
seen you
than-
in the summer, dude. It's some shit.
I got darker than Kanisha, you know.
God damn.
I was proud of that too. I was like, who's black now?
That's what's so fucking funny. That brings me back to that chick telling you had white privilege. It's like, oh my god. It's because it's the winter.
But believe me, it is kind of funny. But I've noticed that when I had darker skin, I had like white people looking at me different.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of funny. I'm like, what is that? Like, what is that?
Because in the U.S. it's
I
a
tried to
big deal.
gauge it. Yeah, apparently it was. I'm like,
People feel some type of way. They
but then winter comes and
you're back to being white.
you're back to being white. It's like, what? Okay, I'm a chameleon.
Tartarstan, being the place set aside for the Tartar people, has a unique status in that they have tried to secede from Russia on 2 different occasions. They've declared independence twice. Granted, the Russian government knows how to deal with succession after Chechnya, so they did not succeed. But the unique thing to know about Tartarstan is that they are home to the 5th largest Russian oil company, Tatneft, which estimates 1 billion tons of oil deposits underneath Tartarstan. So they have more money than other provinces. So that's one of the reasons why I was able to visit there, because they had enough money that it at least was safe. But anyways, this is just all talking about Tatarka, who is an artist that is recording in Tartar and kind of speaking the language of her people and bringing that culture forward. And she has an awesome song with Little Big called You Can Take.
You can take.
If
Check
you
it
want it,
out.
you can take.
If you want it, you can take. That's a hit. That's a club dance.
And just like many things with Russians, after watching the video, I was like, damn, they kind of have some chemistry. Do you think Ilyich would be into Tatarka? They're married. They got a kid together. I mean, now actually come 2020, it looks like they're going to be separating, but they have a goddamn kid together. Like, that's some shit. Only in Russia do you have those weird connections that lie under the surface.
That's what I was like when you first told me. I was like, what? But
Yeah,
yes,
but then you
they-
take a look and it's like, well done, Ilyich.
And that's unfortunately the one video where, you know, with like the Antwoord and Ninja and Yolanda, you get so many videos out of that. But with I guess Ilya and Tatarka, you just get that one,
Yeah.
which, yeah, it's
Yeah.
still there. It was there.
Yeah.
It was just a spark versus a fire.
But it burned brightly nonetheless.
Yeah, for that brief moment.
So again, let's move to this format of just kind of addressing these artists and let the listeners kind of check them out on their own, because there's a lot of different flavors we're throwing in
Oh
here.
yeah.
This is all kind of less associated with the Zeph movement and more kind of loose association in the same energy wave, not as much overtly Zeph.
Yeah, just kind of random artists that we found of, you know, some interest.
Yeah.
And I thought we would bring it out on the show.
Yeah, one of them being Elena Temnicova, which is another person that I encountered at this VK Fest that I went to. She was actually the first performer, and she opened the festival. She's kind of house and techno, but definitely some pop influence. She's originally from Kurgan, along the northern border of Kazakhstan. Not really a big city, not really well known. She came to prominence in 2007 as part of this supergroup Cerebro, or Cerebro, which came in 3rd in the Eurovision contest in 2007, and basically became a huge like girl band pop hit in Russia, and basically took the whole country by storm. She left the group in 2014 and started her own label, Temnicova, and which is what she's producing music on now. And that's when I frequently heard her singles on the radio in Russia when I was living in Petersburg. And she had this huge hit that I just want to talk about briefly in terms of its ideology. It's called Nemodne, meaning unfashionable. And I fucking loved this because I had never really heard something on the radio that was like, what I'm making is not in fashion, as her brand, as like literally she branded being unfashionable and made it cool. And I think that's really along the lines of what we're talking about here, that
Not
fuck
Rayonian,
what's
you mean
traditionally
BLM
cool.
Zeph.
Yeah, exactly. Like fucking I'm working with what I have and I'm going to make it cool. Just cuz it's not in fashion, that makes it more cool rather than less. And that had a huge effect on me. Like it's like, yeah, I wear shit that's not in fashion and I make it cool. I don't let something else make me cool.
I am the creator. How many people get to say that,
Yeah.
What?
Well,
This is what we are on No
But
Bob's
all you
Low.
got to do is just say it and then be it.
Come on, guys. We are the creators. we get to design this world, aspects of it, parts of it.
How about this? Let's jump to another part in the globe. I like this kind of just moving quick, just addressing like, hey, that's a chick from Kurgan. This next guy is from Kazakhstan. Totally different vibe. This guy became super popular super quickly. Not pop at all. Not a goddamn drop of pop within the guy. His name is Kryptonite. I would say he's mostly rap and some trap, but he even does spoken word. Like he's much more on the conscious rap side, kind of related to Grebz in terms of having a lot of depth to him. So he was born in Leninsky, Kazakhstan, which is near the Russian border on the northern border. He released his debut album in 2015, which peaked on the Russian iTunes at number 2, beat only by Adele's album 25. So that is unbelievably impressive to be beating out not only all Russian music, but all international music except for Adele in the year 2015. That's really something to look deeper at. So I found an interview with him in, I believe it was a local Kazakhstan publication. And he says, in my songs, I'm talking about the life of ordinary citizens of the former Soviet Union with common household problems. So I try to express things in my lyrics with simple words. Then my thoughts are available for many. What is the point of writing music if people do not understand it? I do not understand rappers who rap about their rap. I think that they are defective people. Where is the rest of their lives? Where are the people in it? And that's pretty cool. That's like, what if we did a podcast about podcasting? What the fuck? Like, what if I did a podcast about like how cool I am? Who the fuck would listen to that? I wouldn't even want to produce that. That's such a waste of time. You need to have actual depth of content for people to connect to it. Otherwise, it's more pop trash. It's like still water. So you can get that out of the tap. Why would I buy it? We can kind of skip over this a little bit, but I want to transition to Apasne Rayon by talking about Kolesa. Kolesa is a song that I just showed you, Joe. Kolesa is the wheel or the cycle, and it's addressing the issue of drug abuse in the former USSR and the amount of people that are dying from specifically injectable substances.
Apasne Rayon is a song that's a collaboration of AK-47 and Trigoratnika, something like that. It's very deep. It's a very heavy song, and it really kind of brought me back to some parts of my childhood.
What does Apasne Rayon translate to?
It's a dangerous city block. In this song, they rap, and like on our block, we have children that are begging for bread. We got boarded up windows. We have just this culture that's trying to survive, and it's just a city block. That's all it is. It made me kind of think and transcended my thought to the cities and stuff like that, where you have city blocks, and they get injected with this predisposed sort of lifestyle that they're going to have. We talked about this in limited upwards mobility and stuff like that, and in the way that that music connects to me, it's been a known fact that some city blocks are injected with drugs and music, and both kind of sponsor each other, where you have the drugs that are sponsoring the music and the music that's sponsoring the drug use. and that's a wave of an upwards mobility for some people, is to get out of that city block, you know, because literally your life is a city block. You're in the dangerous block, and that is your life. You're in the concrete jungle, and that's where you are. That's where you stay. And Apashe Rayon is just like this really deep, heartfelt, like very deep, dark, depressing music where, you know, that is your city block, and that's how the city block functions. But like, who really benefits off of it? It's just the few, the people that are like, get out of it, and they just sponsor the system of that. You know, they're like, what other drugs can we throw at that block? How can we perpetuate? You know, how can we get people addicted to this or that? How do we, you know, like the Kanye West song, he's got like, how do we, that's that crack music, you know? How do we chop it, you know, block it, sponsor it, feed it, you know? And how do we feed that crack into those hoods? And it's just
and
that
get the
cycle.
money out of it.
Get the money out of it, you know? It's just
And even just earlier, Leo, you mentioned that it was not uncommon for you to have heroin addicts in your building and for there to be tons of them.
Not at all. Heroin addicts, man. Easy to make heroin there. They'd specifically be these elderly women at the bazaars that would pick the poppy seed at the right time of the year. And there's a certain kind of poppy seed that you even have to pick. What do you know? You know, some weed that you pick gets you high, some doesn't. But yeah, they just sell it at the bazaar. The users would go up there and get them, and then they'd go inside their like apartment buildings. They'd boil it up and just shoot it up. It was all, you know, it was all good.
All in a single block.
All in a single block, you know, all in the city block. It's that heroin music.
Oh,
it's
God.
that crack music.
But that's interesting that you mentioned heroin music, because that when I showed you Kryptonite, the first, and Elena Temnicova, you were like, oh, that's that heroin music. That's like
Heroin
coping
music.
Yeah. And that's definitely an identifiable genre in Russian music, that heroin music.
Hear it now, Bob's loud. We are out of beer.
Yeah, we are out of beer. Oh, fuck me. We haven't even talked to Pashe. Fuck Ice Peak,
fuck.
dude. I could give a shit about Ice Peak. Tyler, do you want to say anything about Ice Peak? Because you kind of like them. You don't even know what Ice Peak is?
Oh wait, the girl band?
Yeah, the girl band.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with Ice Peak. They're all right. Their first record was released through a Portland label. So they've been kind of pop since the beginning, like international acclaim. They're from Moscow. That's all I really have to say. They're from Moscow. I don't know, they're creepy though. Like they have a video, Grusnaya Suka, sad bitch, which is fucking creepy. Yeah, tell me about it.
So like the biggest thing you've taught me about these this group is that they are very sad, I guess, because like, so in Russia, from what I've learned, there's a serious shortage of men. And
I mean, because they died in World War II. So it's getting better now. I think it's only like 60% women.
40% men.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, but still, that's still a lot of unmarried women.
Yeah.
So this song, Grusnaya Suka, or Sad Bitch, is like, imagine growing up feeling that there's a possibility that you will never marry. Imagine how depressing that is.
Yeah, so they kind of, at least on that song, they kind of just talk about that situation.
And the social issues around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just, they have this image of a train of single women. And I don't know if that, again, my Russian isn't good enough to know that that's exactly what they're talking about, but it certainly gives the impression, this field of single women. And what I was talking earlier about the imbalance between masculine and feminine energy, water, it settles in a low place and it's hard to be moved without an external force. And that's kind of what I see in the imagery there. Just a very depressive state of not being able to be moved by anything,
right,
and seeing no hope. So I have a lyric here that shows just how creepy, and they have a lot of really interesting imagery in there that's just, I wouldn't even say shocking like Tommy Cash and Dionward. It's like,
it's dark.
It's dark,
it's
and
very
creepy. Like, it's disturbing is what it is.
But that's what kind of drew me to that song, at least.
Yeah.
And some of their other stuff.
And me too.
It's
Ice
very
Peak
dark.
is one of the people that whenever I talk about learning Russian, they send me their shit. So they're really internationally known because of that shocking style.
Right.
But I certainly wouldn't say that it goes that deep with them. They have that kind of Moscow marketable exterior,
Right.
but not a lot of re-listenability, not a lot of depth.
If I'm gonna listen to something like that, I'm gonna listen to Skinned.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did bring a lyric from that song, Sad Bitch, which is Здесь мне никто не хозяин. Luxury life не мой style. Meaning, here there is no master for me. The luxury life is not my style. And it goes on to say, Я люблю грязь, это мой кайф. Улыбаюсь, только кусаю. And that's chilling as fuck, because what that means is I love the mud. That is my... Leo, how do you say... What is kaif? Like high, or my addiction, or...
Yeah, it's ecstasy,
my escape.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just ecstasy type of feeling.
Yeah, I love the mud. That's my escape. I smile only to bite. And especially with the female vocalist singing that, and the imagery, she's like literally like bathing herself in this pool of mud.
Mm-hmm.
It's chilling, really fucking chilling.
Yeah.
So I would say that's worth checking out. Ice Peak. They're worth watching them once or twice, but they certainly don't have the depth of the other artists we're talking about.
Right.
It's very Moscow. It's very flash, but not a lot of depth.
Did you mention that they were apparently controversial?
No, I didn't. Well, in Russia, yeah.
Oh yeah, 2018 they had some of their concerts disrupt, and they got detained in Novosibirsk, where LJ is from. Funny enough, even though Novosibirsk is like the Far East, and who the fuck even knows?
Yeah,
what
who
that
cares?
is. Like, who cares?
Who
But
protests in Novosibirsk?
they have to maintain an image of a proper Russian culture, which is we
Yeah.
are great. Nothing is happening here.
Yeah, there's no bad.
So this music cannot be like spoiling the reputation. But apparently they have raised some hairs. Oh, and did we mention that their collaboration with Tommy Cash also?
Oh no, they
'Cause
did. Yeah, they collaborated.
they
I'm
did
so glad
that.
that you like them a little bit more, because for me, it's like that. It's not my thing. But that's true. They collaborated on the song "Cry" with Tommy Cash.
I was surprised at the high quality of their videos and the fact that they were even allowed to release that. I'm like, how did they release that? Like, Russia is not. But then I, did some research, and I'm like, okay, they have been detained. They're not cool with them. Not
Yeah.
everybody.
They got beef.
Not in Novosibirsk.
Yeah, the Russian government is, well, that's the thing. They'll let you release music, but they won't make it easy on you. Like, they won't, they will not make it easy. Let's change gears to our final discussion, because this is some shit that we could honestly do fucking a whole episode on, which is Apashe. And we should let's do it kind of more as a discussion format so we can get all of our thoughts out on Apashe, because he's his own fucking animal.
Yes. Apashe. Things
Yeah.
just got very exciting.
Yeah, fucking 100 years. Like, this guy's going to be huge, and we're addressing him as loosely related to this music through his collaboration with this artist, Instasamka. Any first impressions on Apashe or Instasamka, Ty?
Oh, is he not already huge? I thought he was huge.
We're talking next level. So do you remember that I said that there was an interesting link that I had not mentioned yet?
I was waiting for you to get on this.
I know.
Yeah.
I bet. So check this out. So, I mean, Apashe, I don't even know what genre. I guess he's everything. It's like, I would say trap, dubstep, techno, and house, and classical music.
You gotta add the classical.
Because it's, very orchestral.
Yeah.
Like that's his calling card, is orchestral music. So let's just talk about how we got introduced to him, which is why I say he's blowing up right now, because this is another one. All the people who I share music with, who know I speak Russian, have sent me this at one time or another. And even talking to my friend in Switzerland, who, again, not to jump ahead, but she speaks French just like Apashe does. When I sent it to her, she was like, oh shit, somebody sent me something by Apashe just 2 or 3 days ago. So whatever happened when he released the song with Instasamka blew him up on an international scale. So let's talk Instasamka real quick. Instasamka is from Tobolsk, Russia. I don't really know shit about it. Smaller city, has 100,000 people. It's east of the Ural Mountains, near Yekaterinburg, which is the 4th largest city in Russia. The key idea is that it is in Asian Russia. It's past the Urals, so it is not as European influenced. They collaborated on a song called Uyobak. Leo, you want to do me a favor and try to translate what the hell Uyobak would mean? I don't think a lot of people would know that.
Somebody that's very fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it has the yob in it, so it's foul.
Fucked in the head.
Fucked in the head. Yeah, dude, exactly. And Instasamka is Uyobak. Would it be Uyobka, or how? Is there a female version of Uyobak, or are we all Uyobak?
I'm not sure.
Point being, she's a fucking Uyobak. Because she came out of nowhere. Instasamka started mostly as a Russian Instagram personality and blogger. To date, she's still only 20 years old. In 2018, she released the mixtape Born to Flex with no rap experience, and the mixtape is just straight trash, dude. It is. I feel so comfortable calling it absolutna huйня. It is trash. And she's very open about it.
I saw some YouTube comments on the collaboration of Uyobak. They're like, they were still hating on her, but nobody was hating on Apashe.
Oh yeah,
dude,
she's
how
got
can you
haters.
hate on Apashe? I don't think.
But also, he's a grown man. It's a lot easier to hate on a little girl.
True.
And she intentionally embraced the hate of kind of like, in her mixtape Born to Flex, I could only make it through a track or two, but the opening track is a recording of a fellow artist from her city screaming at her about how he spent the last 2 years writing his album, and she records some trash trap in a week, and she has more followers than he does. He was pretty pissed about that.
Luckily, Apashe happens to come along and just happen to accelerate her existence just because he's just such a noble guy.
Well, it's interesting the way they met. It was just by chance, because they met at this, they were both performing at this festival, Alpha Future People. And this is another one of those moments where it's like, how do I, some young boy from the Midwest, know about Alpha Future People? I went there. Like in 2018 when I was in Russia. Again, I tend to fall in with fucking crazy motherfuckers. I fell in with this crew of people that were going to a festival. And me and this German guy literally sold our tickets to the train because we were going to go east. We were like, fuck that. We're going to sell our tickets on the train. We're going to buy tickets to this festival. Fast forward to us driving through a fucking random woods. Well, let's not even go to how crazy this festival was. It was in a village. Like, we're talking not a major city. I remember them kind of looking at me, and they were like, you must be really brave to come hang out with a lot of dirty Russians for the weekend. And I'm like, oh shit, am I? Yeah, let me tell you, because I didn't know them at all. Like, they just happened to bring me with. Like, it was an insane experience. But I ended up at this festival, Alpha Future People, and it was one of the best festivals I've ever been to, because the Russian crowds, they care. This might be the only festival they ever go to. They don't sleep. They stay up all night. And this festival was insane. It was like, I've been trying to go back ever since, but whatever, with COVID, I can't. I recommend to anybody go to Alpha Future People, because it is so fucking Zeph, it's terrifying. Like, we're talking, have you ever been in a porta-john that's a squat toilet? We're talking like, this is not just shitting outside. This is shitting outside while squatting. And let me tell you, you thought Americans were crazy when they're all fucked up on drugs. But imagine trying to shit into a hole when you're fucking on every drug you can imagine and wasted. Like, it was greasy. But, I mean, it's awesome because it's authentic. It reminded me of camping. Like, It's just, fuck it, man. We're all humans. We all shit. Like, it's wipe it off your shoes and get moving.
We all got a bob.
Yeah, exactly, man. We all got to use it. So this is actually, from looking at their video blogs, this is how Apashe and Instasamka found each other. And they released the song and the video for Uyobak, and they promoted it through both their social medias. And it becomes an international success almost immediately because of Apashe's production. You really get the sense that Instasamka's the face of it because she's cute. But really, who makes the track shine is Apashe behind the scenes. So let's talk Apashe for a second. Not a lot of information on him. He's been active since 2011. Although now, he's on a different tier. Now he's getting international fame. But here's the interesting point. He's originally from Belgium, so I believe his native language to be French. So in 2011, he gets an offer from Cannibalen Records based out of Montreal to join them. And I looked into a little bit what Cannibalen Records is. this blew my fucking mind. This is where it's like, who am I? Who am I and how do I know this shit? Cannibalen Records is headed by Black Tiger Sex Machine, which is a band that I saw perform live at Electric Forest, I think in 2016. I can't remember exactly the year, but I saw them live at Electric Forest, and let me tell you, it was one of the best live shows I've ever seen. At the time, they'd only released their first album, and their theme was, "This is our church." When you step into our scene, when you are standing in front of our stage, you are praying at our church with us. And let me tell you, their church is the Church of Satan. Like, they are so openly satanic, it's unbelievable. Like, during their shows, they have upside down crosses projected in red. And we're talking, their music is dark and aggressive dubstep, trap, and drum and bass. Like, it is extremely heavy. Like, it's comparable only to hardcore metal. And it's amazing, though, because it controls your energy. It's like, it's so primal. So when I found out that Black Tiger Sex Machine was the sponsor that brought Apashe to the Americas by inviting him, because they're from Montreal,
You're right.
inviting him to live in Montreal, it blew my mind that the fact that these two are affiliated means that we should be watching Apashe to become a very major North American artist in the future. Because not only is he employed as a musical artist, he's also employed as a sound engineer, and he's been producing for film scores. So we're talking, he's worked already with Marvel, Netflix, and HBO. Dude, and he's
huge.
He even has his songs featured and has written songs for The Fast and the Furious and John Wick.
Wow, holy shit.
So the dude's getting, and on top of that, after his 2020 album Renaissance has released, he is now the highest netting artist on Cannibalen Records, passing Black Tiger Sex Machine.
Damn.
So
Well, I can believe it.
I can believe it too.
Yeah.
Like, because he's on a different tier, and that's where it's important to note the orchestra elements, where he actually has a documentary out I'd recommend to everybody, talking about how he made the album Renaissance by writing all of the original scores and then traveling to Prague, Czech Republic, to have a full orchestra perform his scores while recording, and then incorporating the dubstep and trap elements on top of it to make a symphony of electronic, while having live instrumentation of a live orchestra. And I've never seen any shit like that, where by him naming his album Renaissance, his intention is to create a new renaissance in Montreal as the new beginning of, I don't know, classy trap. Like, I don't even know what the fuck to think of it. It's just, he's created a new genre.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a new type of genre.
Yeah. And his whole album Renaissance, every piece of it's incredible. That's where he works with Instasamka, he works with Tech Nine, he works with all of these other artists from across the Americas in all of these different genres. And he even works with an artist, Yitzi, from the UK. And it's like he's unifying all of the world under this one genre of whatever he's creating. And it's about to take the fuck off.
Oh, honestly, if you listen to that album, every single song,
It's
just
a fucking
it's
hit.
amazing.
And it's all different. Like, each track is slightly different than the other, and it's all, there's something that he's tapping into that he just gets it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you respond to it by instinct.
Right.
Epic. Fucking epic.
Yeah, exactly. Epic.
Has he ever commented on why his name is Apashe?
It's not, but it's spelled Apashe, so it's not Apache as in like a tribe. It must be French, because that's the other thing about him. You can take one look at the guy and it's like, that's a European motherfucker. And it's like, okay, Belgium, native language French, is a smooth looking guy. And he's got that European, like, I don't even know, that European sexiness where it's like, Jesus, dude. I had to do the Italian hand to be like, what is it quite exactly? But it's like, he's got it. Whatever it is, he is hot right now, and it's about to take the fuck off.
Have you seen the Matrix movies, Joe?
I've seen a couple of them.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Anderson. Nobody like questions Mr. Anderson. It's just he's just an agent. He's just Mr. Anderson.
He's just Apashe.
Yeah, he's just Apashe.
He's just an average dude who took the red pill, and now he's fucking seeing the world from a third-person perspective.
Oh, Mr. Anderson didn't take. But yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I don't know the Matrix that well.
No, he did. Essentially, that is an interesting argument that you just proposed. Mr. Anderson does take the red pill because he is the program in the Matrix that decides to not act like all the other programs. He copies himself. He absorbs the Matrix. He's like, I'm not going to follow, but he's not human. So he doesn't, it doesn't affect him in the same way as a human. But yeah, he does take the red pill. That is hilarious.
Apashe, however, is very human. Very human. I don't even know what else to say. Like that's some shit.
So should we go into the random mentions that?
Yeah, dude. Let's close it out with some honorable mentions.
I'd love to close it out. Let me
please do
get my sheet of paper in front of me. Other mentions of people to look into. DJ Blatman.
Oh my God.
His own. Wait. You gotta say your catchphrase, Avery.
Oh my blood.
So what's his style? It's
hard bass.
Hard bass.
Yeah, like. I don't even know. It's like he created a genre.
As soon as we're done here, I'm gonna be playing.
Oh, we're gonna be playing hard bass all night, dude.
Daddy Snow.
Oh my God, this is one that I credit to Leo just being himself, because probably. What did I say on Instagram? I'm one of like 350 followers. I don't know how you found this guy. We're talking, dude's Norwegian.
He's got like 8 tracks, very limited tracks. Daddy Snow are all heavy as fuck. I mean, just if you got subwoofers, turn them the fuck down. Heavy as fuck. AK-47 is 80s, 90s Russian rapper.
Kind of old school, like do you know Basta? Like kind of like the older generation of kind of R90s in the US.
Yeah. But very, very depressing because Russia's 90s was just depressing.
The worst. Pizdes.
The worst. But then you have Dava, which is like Russian 2000s, early 2000s. This guy's got the song Black Boomer, Chorny Boomer.
Oh my God, what a fucking hit, dude. Every rapper now references it.
Pop, very much pop, like
80s pop.
80s pop. And then this random motherfucker over here, Salvatore Ganacci.
Oh my God.
It's trans techno.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Trans techno.
Hard bass collab with Tommy Cash.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hard bass. That's probably my favorite Tommy Cash song.
Yeah. Hard. Yeah, bass. Don't catch that bass. Catch that bass.
Oh, Leo's accent. I think we have one more. Face. What do you found? Face.
Yeah, Face. Shit, we got Face.
He got like capital
Face,
FACE.
And then there's and then Feduk.
Oh fuck Feduk.
Feduk. Some other random ass.
He's from Moscow.
Yeah.
He's a Moscovite. He's not bad. He collaborated with LJ he was one of the big guys who made LJ famous because they had a big pop hit that they did together.
Oh.
Это просто pop хуйня.
Didn't even know that.
Nахуй. It's Розово вино. You know it.
Oh shit.
That's Feduk.
That's it.
I'm telling you, dude, every time I'd walk down the street in Moscow, there'd be like a bunch of like really preppy, like rich girls just like listening to Feduk on the side of the street. Ugh. I mean, not bad. It's just Moscow. Fucking.
Anybody else?
I think that's it, boys.
Yep, I think that's it.
Well, let's go listen to some hard bass. Let's fucking crank this shit up. To all a good night, and thank you so much for joining us for our first probably 3-parter from No Bobs Allowed. Keep it Zeph, motherfuckers, because you know we're going to be.
Sound
Peace.
speeds.
Keep it Zeph.